Hi guys, it's Melenka and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today is another plushie customization and restoration video. I believe this is episode 8 or 9, but I am not sure because I've done so many of these. But today's going to be a special seasonal episode because it is almost Christmas time. So here's the plushie we'll be customizing and restoring today, and it is this adorable little polar bear plushie, and I absolutely love this plushie. It is so cute and fluffy and tiny, and I cannot wait to get her customization and restoration started. So without further ado, let's get on with today's custom. Alright, so first little polar bear plushie, I'll be customizing it into a snowman, and honestly I just thought that would be such a cute idea because the polar bear is white already, and I just thought that since polar bears live in snow and it's a snowman, you see the resemblance a little bit, but that was kind of my idea. So I have this little striped scarf right here which I took from one of my other plushie restorations. That was one of my first ones. I don't know if you guys remember. I'll insert a picture right here. So these are all the supplies I'm going to be using. I have some rhinestones, some super glue, some black felt, some pearl beads, and some orange felt. The orange felt I was going to use for its nose, but then I figured it won't really look like a polar bear anymore, so I decided to not use the orange felt as a little carrot nose. I also have the silicone tool, which I use for applying all my rhinestones. And then here are the two beads that will act as the coals on like the snowman. I don't know if you noticed, but like snowmen always have like buttons of coal. So that's what that is. And let's get started with the restoring. So for this polar bear plushie, there wasn't really that much to restore. I did wash this plushie. I wash all my plushies before I do anything with them. So I make sure to wash each and every plushie in a detergent and water solution. So this plushie was pretty dirty to begin with, but with some stain remover, I did get it very clean. So right here, I am also taking off the little lanyard. But we got rid of that because it had some discoloration. And I was struggling to cut it off with these tiny little green scissors, so I had to get the big guns out, and I got this big blue scissor that I use only for like fabric, so that finally worked. So now that we got the restoration out of the way, let's start my favorite part, which is the customization. Oh my god. So right here I chose to use a striped scarf because I just really like this print. So I decided to tie it around its neck, and at the front I'm gonna make like a little bundle, like how they usually tie scarves out. I don't know what I'm thinking, but it's how they usually tie scarves in the front with like the loop over. I'm also need to figure out where I'm going to be placing these button like coals because I don't want the scarf to be covering up the beads that I'm going to be sewing onto the front of his chest. So to do that, I took these little like pin needles that they use for sewing, and I put the bead through and I stuck it through the plushie, and that's where I want it to be there. Alright, let's make his hat. So I have this black felt right here. I've only ever made a hat for one of my plushie customs once, and it was for that like seal butler, and I made it out of paper that time, but this time I'm making a felt. So I have this black felt. It does look like it's been like very like, hairy, but that is the faux fur because I keep all my fabric together with my faux fur piles. So right here I'm cutting out a strip, and that's going to be the length of the hat, and then I'm going to be cutting out two circles that are going to be like the top of the hat, and then there's going to be a larger circle that's going to be like the rim of the hat. So that's how I'm going to make it. So right here I made the top part of the hat, which is the circle, and the long strip glued around it. I did use hot glue because that is the strongest glue I have that is made for felt, and I just like using hot glue because it actually like holds, like it's like a polymer basically. It holds itself, it holds its shape. So here's the top part of the hat, and I should make the bottom part, which is going to be slightly larger than the top circle of the hat. That way it looks like a hat. And here is the cute little hat. I absolutely love the way it turned out, and I definitely will be using this method again. So I'm going to be using this satin green ribbon right here as the band around the hat. And usually snowmen have that band around their hats, so that's why I decided to use it. I'm using my super glue right here. I chose to use super glue rather than hot glue because hot glue does not stick to satin ribbon. So let's try on his hat, and he looks absolutely amazing. I just love the way it looks on him. So it's the next day, and I'm just like hoping we get this little plushie finished today because I cannot wait to see him all dressed up and ready to be a little snowman. So he has a scarf on. his hat is made. I just need to be sewing on his little buttons, and that is pretty much it. I also need to put on the rhinestones. So at this point, I decided to start off with the scarf, and I'm going to put on that around his neck and then bundle it up at the front. And I decided to do like an over-under method right here. It's basically where you take you cross it over, and then you take one end and you like loop it backwards through his neck again, and it turns out really cute and looking very cozy. So I forgot to add this step in, but as you can see, the plushie's eyes and nose are embroidered on, which means after a long time or wear, that thread will end up fraying and fuzz up a bit, as you can see right here. So I'm just taking my little tiny scissors and I'm cutting off the top like fuzz bits, and that'll make the plushie look nice and clean and good as new. So right here, I already glued on his scarf and his little cute little top hat, and he looks almost complete. He does need his little cold buttons, so that's gonna be what the next step is, but I'm super excited because I just love the way he turned out already. So next, I decided to do the rhinestones on his cheeks first. So for this plushie, I decided to go with a silver rhinestone, and the reason is because I feel like it resembles ice and snow, and since it is a polar bear and a snowman, I thought that would look really cute. So I have these adorable little mini rhinestones. I use these rhinestones on all my plushies, and then I have some gold stars that I plan on putting on his hat. So I always get asked this one question. It is, what is your favorite part about customizing and restoring plushies? And my absolute favorite part is that I give an old and pre-loved plushie another chance at life again, another chance for it to be loved, and that's just what really gets me pumped up about these customs, because I make a friend for someone else. The second part is the customizing. I love customizing these plushies. So my favorite part of the customizing process is definitely picking the rhinestones for the plushies. I do let some of my TikTok friends pick them, but most of the time I pick them myself, and I just love putting on each of the rhinestones on their eyes, because I just feel like it adds another sense of life to them and it just makes them look really cute. But right here, the glue I'm using to attach on the rhinestones to the fur is a gel super glue. The gel super glue works the best because it actually sticks onto the fur. I do not like using the liquid because the liquid won't really do anything. It just seeps through the fur. And then here's the finished plushie with both the rhinestones on his eyes. I absolutely love the way the silver turns out against the white of his fur. So then right here, I'll be using this tiny little gold star, and I'm going to put it onto his little like top hats so it looks more festive and Christmassy. Alright, so next up, we are going to be sewing on his little cold buttons. So for the cold buttons, I'm using these little brown beads and a needle and thread. And also another question I always get asked is, what do I need to know to get started with customizing and restoring plushies? I get this question asked the most from people on TikTok and my followers, and my number one suggestion would be you definitely need to learn how to sew. I cannot tell you how many plushies I have restored and customized that I needed to sew them. Like, it's either when you have to like put on a cute little like scarf on the plushie, or there's like a big rip in the plushie, you need to restore it. Sewing is a fundamental skill you need to know when you're customizing and restoring plushies. Alright, so I got my needle in the plushie and I tied it off so it's a nice secure hold, and now I'm gonna go put my needle through the center of his chest, and that's where the first button is gonna go, and I'm just gonna loop through the bead and then cross it over a couple of times. And that's how I sew on a bead. And then to sew the other bead, I'm going to sew it right under the first bead. So to do that, I'm going to take my needle and then put it back inside the plushie right where it ended up at. I'm going to go through the fluffing, and I'm going to poke my needle outward through its chest right where I want the other bead to go. Alright, we got both little buttons on, and now to end it off, I'm going to put my needle right through the fluffing again, tie the end, and that's how we finish off the sewing. Alright, and here is the finished Snowman Polar Bear Plushie Custom. I absolutely love this little guy right here. I love the little details I put on him. And let me know what you guys think of this plushie custom. Out of all the plushie customs I have done for the Christmas season so far, this little guy right here is probably my favorite. Also, I have no idea why the comments on my other videos were turned off for some reason. No idea how that happened, but hopefully on this video they are turned on. And I hope you guys like this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want more plushie custom and restorations, make sure to subscribe to me. And this little guy, as well as a couple more holiday Christmas themed plushie customs, will be up on my Etsy shop. I do not know when because it's just been very hectic. And the polar bear wishes you a happy holidays as well. See you next time.